Compiling applications is a lot like baseball. You gotta do everything right or you're screwed. Now today I was gonna sign up for GitHub. Then I realized I didn't know how to use Git. And I also realized for some reason, like to try to compile apps, but for some reason I don't want to have to research and learn a whole new set of context rules that I'm sure it's very easy for people to use it, but without any context, well, that means I gotta learn by trying and, banging my head into the wall, and maybe in a month from now I'll be a Git wizard. But, and for what? I've got a ton of packages, so many packages that I've done something or the other to get to compile. And I've saved all these things that I've done, set them aside. But you're telling me now I got to go back. It was like, I don't want to count, and it's not easy to count because actually in this platform I actually have to go. Well, I don't know. There's probably some obscure way to get an easy answer as to how many folders are in this solved directory here. But I don't want to have to spend the time to figure it out. It's much easier just to say there's no easy way to count all these folders, but I think that there is a C. Okay. 18 plus that's 25 plus that's 3 is 28. There's 30, 33, 45, 47, 49, 50, I'm counting them, see, 51, 53, 59, there's 60, 61, and 63, 66, 67, hey, 69, 71, 72, 75, 82, 85, and I'll get the final tally. 86, 87, 88, 89, 90, 91, 92, 93, 94, 95 applications, of which the source code I had to do something or other to get the damn thing to compile, and I was able to figure out 96 of them. No, 95. One of them I actually decided to cheat and use someone else's binaries as my own, and that's library XV, and I still think I'm actually using that. And I was able to keep going on and get, 90, about, let's see, how many is that? About 20 a month, or 30 a month, actually. Been going for about 3 months now. So these changes are like either they're just complete overrides that take place in makefiles, in the BSD makefiles, or some of them are just, they're edits. I didn't know what the hell I was doing. I deleted some lines and I got lucky and the damn thing compiled. Oh yeah, then there's a bunch of other attempts which probably amount to maybe 40. So okay. That took a while, but I was able to keep a positive outlook because, well, other things were building, and the numbers were building up, and I felt like I was going to get somewhere. In this case, I don't think I'm going to really get anywhere. For number one, so I've got an old build of X11, and I'm just going to do right now. So I've been, I guess we'll just go over this whole thing. Now, what really sucks about all this Actually, I'll do this. I'll do this first. Is that just being able to boot Haiku, just be able to see a graphical user interface, and just be able to double click on a folder, that represents thousands of hours, hundreds of times more work that I've done with a lot more skill and a lot more patience. This right here represents a tremendous amount of work. And although it's easy to get frustrated at it and and suggest things be done differently, it's very, very hard. I mean, even porting, trying to port things over, trying to make a few changes here and there with code that otherwise works, that if you just do this thing here and that thing there, it'll build. This stuff was made from scratch. I mean, that's a lot of work. And so, in the big picture of the whole thing, it's like, wow, And I'm not joking. I do mean, wow, this is, you have to have a lot of respect for it. It's easy to lose sight if you're using this thing day in, day out. And you get frustrated by it day in, day out, trying to do what you want to do with it. And so with everything that I say, the most important fact is that this is a lot of work that someone has done, or a group of people have done, and the gratitude placed for that work is much higher than the complaints I have. I've never really made that clear, but that's the truth of the whole thing. Now to rip a new one. No, just kidding. All right, so let's just go. This is the situation. I'm trying to do these videos so people will see it. Okay, let's fix that. That's all I'm trying to do. So it's really frustrating. Anyway, because I want to be able to use, I don't want to see all those thousands of hours go down the drain, right? So anyway, because no one uses it. On this, I might have a chance. I recognize this UINT16 underscore T thingamabob. And I might, you know what? I might just keep doing this. I'm probably not going to accomplish anything great. But what I'll do is I'll go back and redo stuff I've done before. And as I learn stuff, and I know how to solve a certain issue, I'll just do them on camera. And I'll keep doing them. I am completely inadequate, under-equipped, under-skilled, and probably too stupid to use Git. I don't know how the fuck to use that thing. I have 90 folders with a lot of files in them, some of which I've probably shouldn't have made a full backup of what I built, but I wish Git was just something like, okay, just put your files in this folder, and then you just type git put name of folder, name github.com, and username and password, and then all of a sudden they're there, But it's not that like that, or at least I don't think it is. I don't know how to get it to work, and and then I thought about it. By the time I figure out how to use Git, which hopefully it's easy and people are actually laughing at that idea, but who knows? Because I'm probably still going to try as much as I complain. And I'll probably eventually make it there. It's just, how many years of my life's going to go down the drain. So I just wish it was just something easy. Just like I wish it was like Dropbox. Just put your files in this folder, and it'll be up there at the GitHub. That would be awesome, but it's not. But then still, I would have a bunch of files. I looked at my files. I go, well, I kind of understand what to do with these things because I put them where I put them because it makes sense to me, because I've kept in mind, okay, well, I'm going to mirror I've come up with this whole, and it's changed over time, actually, when I look back at some of the older ones. It's like, what the fuck was I doing? Didn't you? Some of them I can't even tell, did I change something here or not? So I'd have to run a diff on the whole directory just to figure out what files I changed. Either that or, I'm not even sure how to do a diff on the whole directory. I have to look it up. It's kind of the way I am. I look it up, find it, and then use as much as I can while I remember, because then it's just another piece of paper on the shelf. All the other things I had to find and learn. It's a steep freaking learning curve. This is another reason why I say this is a lot of work. To make this was a lot of work. I mean, it really was. Not only was it a lot of work for people to learn how to just code in the first place, but it was also a lot of work after that and understand the context, which is a narrow skill set that barely anybody really knows how to do, and it's not just intuitive. You can't just look and go, oh, that makes sense. At least to me, it doesn't just make sense when I look at code. So, but I want to be able to use it. I want other people to be able to use it. My motivations, I just don't want to see the work go to waste. And if it's anything, a personality issue, a choice we've made, I'll bring it up to hope that we can change our mind. I don't bring these things up to say a bad choice has been made and it goes on. This is going to go on your permanent record. Yes, that's pointless. But the point is hopefully we'll change our mind. But it looks like we're not, and then I just don't know what to do at that point. Just keep saying what I believe is true, and then I'm not even sure if some of these things end up being. I could probably look back at some of my earlier videos and ask myself, what the fuck was I doing? What the fuck was I saying? I might start all over again. Which doesn't. There's so much work. Oh my god. But I also want to see that something is going to work for the effort. That's what I want to. Everybody wants to see that. That's what they want to see. And they want to see that if they put in the effort, it's not going to. The rug's not going to be taken out from underneath them. And that's the coordination I was talking about. It's very hard to make an operating system. So I have a very old build that I got from HaikuWare of LibraryX 11. Now, I probably should go into my JCC 2 build and see if it'll work, but that's the problem. I don't have a working example of LibraryX 11. Right now I'm trying to build LibraryX 11 module just here. And it wants library PCIe access. And it's got the UINT64 error, so I might have a chance getting through this one. In fact, maybe I'll just do that. Just work through it. But you can get lost. A message can get lost in the myriad of details. But at the end of the day, people want. And before they leave, they're going to, before they put the effort in, they want to. I just did this blindly. It's like, I don't know, just to see what happens. Just for the hell of it. But now that I know how much effort it takes, I'm a little bit more hesitant than I was when I was completely ignorant of the whole process. And even though I've learned a lot, I'm probably still 75% ignorant. All right. Let's try to work through it. Maybe I should do more of these on camera, but it's just so boring, I guess. Okay, so I'm dealing with this modular Xorg server. It's trying to build a dependency before it goes onto the Xorg server. This dependency is the one dependency, I guess, called library PCI access, which is sysutils. Okay. I wish I wasn't so tired. Sysutils in there, library PCI access, blah blah blah. Up. There it is. There's the work directory. In package source, you actually don't get the source code until you dig into the work directory and then into the name of the program and version directory. This is the root of the source directory. I'm looking for a file called common_interface C. I don't even know if I'm getting a decent picture here, so you're going to have to put up with my... I wish it was a little bit bigger. I wonder if I could do anything about that. Did I just take the sharpness down or up? Okay. Probably do this crap over again, but I've said some things that I wanted to say, so I'm going to keep this. I hate it when I go back and I forget to say things that I wanted to say. And I do want to say that this is a very, very difficult thing to do. That might be actually okay. Yeah, I could do that. Okay. Yeah. Yeah, a little more brightness. Alright. Sorry about that. I'm a cheap shop here, so. Alright, so let's just try to work through this. Alright, first of all, I kind of recognize a part of the error. Now, usually this UINT thing is on the right. Whatever. It's kind of like, see how little I know. And then, so there's no common interface file in this directory. Usually things end up in the source directory, and okay, there's one. And now if it's got a .orig, this means that this has actually been patched already by NetBSD. Let me talk about patches. Diger is a tremendously skilled individual, but I think for us to have a full suite of apps that we would want to have, say, it'd be equivalent to what you get in, say, SUSE Linux or something like that, or Ubuntu, it would take 20 Digers, I think, to accomplish that. I've already said stuff like that. All right, let's just get back to this. Okay, so and you see all the nitty-gritty we have to do here, and there could be other errors. Okay, so let's go like the common interface. And see where it's got the 550 over there? That's line number 550. But that's kind of misleading sometimes, because I'm recognizing the kind of error that comes up there. It's got the UINT 32T, and to me, all that means is type whatever this is, include standard int dot h, and put it in brackets. And try it again. And if it comes back again, it means I don't have the answer. I'm going to move on. But if it does work, and I get past that, and I did not, and I still have those things, it means I have no fucking idea how to solve this. And probably means that I'm now considering eliminating lines 535, 551, 617, and 634. Because I don't know what a T-hole is and a leto is, okay? I don't really care, okay? I just want goddamned. Now, what is this? If the byte order equals big Indian, if defined it's Linux, if defined it's Sun, if defined it's Apple. I wonder if there's anything missing from this code. Is it that haiku is missing from this code? Perhaps haiku is missing from this code. So perhaps, since there isn't a haiku section, that perhaps what is happening is that these things are not becoming defined because we do not have a haiku section in here. So, let me tell you what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna do some trial and error. Actually, you know what? Let's try this. Since I like NetBSD, I'm gonna pick this one of 4 possibilities. If I start getting errors, I'll go back to this. Okay, Alt-V. No. Not that. Undo the paste. I'm gonna copy this. Now, I know I've said that I have no fucking idea what any of these things mean. Like, I don't know what the fuck a Leto 16 is, or a with an X, or 32, or any of that shit. But I know what a FreeBSD is. And I know what an if is, and an else is, and an indif is. It means, if it's FreeBSD, Dragonfly, or NetBSD, use this shit. And these look to be lowercase, don't they? Well, yes, they do. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to paste over another f-defined NetBSD, and I'm going to put the word a haiku in here. I'm going to press the save button. Make a little folder called lib PCIe access. PCIe CCESS. Then I'm going to copy said file into said folder. We'll try it once again. Now, I didn't actually have to put in, I don't think, the standard int header that I added. That would be superfluous. Or whatever word means unnecessary. That's B. I will copy this back. will try it again. I will fail again. And I did. I wonder why that is. Why did I fail? Well, let's see. What line number are we talking about here? Let's see. 535, 551, 617, and 634. Okay. Now, maybe it's because I did take the standard INT out of there. Maybe I needed that. See, I'm kind of stuck with that kind of... See, that's all I can do. I don't know what these things mean or do. So now I'm just like, okay. Trial and error. Let's try this thing. Let's include it once again. Usually that's not the right error. It usually doesn't look like that. When you have them on the right, that's the solution. All right, let's try it again. God. Round and round pile wheel goes. Where it stops, nobody knows. Well, actually, we can predict. Let's see, was it 535? We keep the same number. There's some kind of PCI device. Reconfig. You know what? I don't know if I want to. I don't know if I want to use PCI devices anymore. It's kind of old-fashioned, you know. It's like when that technology came out in the 80s. All right, let's see what's going on here on line 535. So we've a Leto. This is saying it's a implicit declaration. In the course of human events, it becomes necessary to edit source code. Okay, that makes a lot of sense. Let's go to 551. It's also got a Leto. And a whole T, a toll on a 634 and a 6 whatever it is. Now there are things I could try. I can see if there's other parts of the system that has these kinds of things in it, and see if I could, and if it's a header, if I can include it, and see if it solves that, whatever that is. That just takes more time. So here, Leto. This is gonna be so fun because I have 5,000 apps. No, I got like, no. I got like 7,000 apps to go. But I'm not gonna stop. I'm gonna be here 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, till I get every goddamn one of these things ported. And I'm not gonna stop. I'll tell you one more thing. I want Holyfield. All right. Let's see if we got... You know what? No. I just did that to be confusing. Develop headers. Do that again. Come on, let's... okay, so we don't have the capital Leto. Leto 32. We don't have that thing. At least not in our headers. Now someone else might have it, or I might have it. But I'm too lazy to look. And it doesn't occur to me to look. So what I'm going to do, I'll tell you what I'm going to do. See, I don't know if I'm a big Indian or a little Indian or 1, little 2, little 3, no, little Indians. I don't know. Let's try this apple thing. Doesn't already copy? No, that's the Letos. So I don't think that did jack squat. In fact, there's those things there. So that didn't. I didn't do jack squat. Actually, I gotta use Alt X. Now, where the hell? We have some kind of Indian header, don't we? You know what? I bet you if I included Indian.h, I'll still get an error. Let's try it. One, 2, little 3, little Indians, 4, little 5, little 6, little Indians. And there's your error. So I got the H tool and the Leto with an implicit declaration of a function. So that didn't do anything. Let's cut this damn thing. Next thing I'm going to look for is if there's any code for BEOS in this thing. But since this was made in 2006, no. Maybe I'll just try it over here. What the hell? Why not? Because knowledge is power. Boop. Nope. Alright, next thing we could do. Now maybe Haiku just doesn't have PCIe support yet. So let's go to 535. Now what we got to do is you got to figure out what parts we can get rid of but still get this thing to compile. So it looks like if I got rid of everything in between those two brackets, the compiler will let me continue. It's possible. Let's see if I get rid of some errors. Don't try this at home, kids, because I'm probably fucking up the code completely. Now here's some more errors. .531 still seems to be okay. So let's redo that. What if I just do this thing? It said it wanted a definition, so. Well. Morning. It's already been defined at 98. Why the fuck's it complaining? This software is spoiled. Now I got another error for doing what it asked me to do. What the hell? What the hell? What the hell nation is wrong with this software? When I do what it asks. I wonder if I got rid of this crap. An error means an implicit declaration. I mean, what do I care? What am I, the compilation police now? Okay, so now I'm going to have package source take care of this for me. Okay. Yeah. We're going to use the old build link transform. Because I want to build the crap software, okay? Wait, what? I probably just, no. Yeah, that's good. I don't like that. I don't like those errors. Those apparently, well, let's see. Let's see how it goes. Okay. I gotta make clean, unfortunately. I have to go down to the stupid live PCI access. Clean there. Fine. Now that'll get rid of a lot of errors. If implicit declarations are no good. We can't be having you making declarations on the fly or defining things on the fly. You have to define it somewhere else. Let's see. Let's see what happens. Let's see if I'm right about that. Or if that's just a red herring. Or wishful thinking on my part. Or lazy compiling habits. Or That'd be fucking awesome if it compiled. Ah! Oh, that is a nice result. I like that result. Okay, so now all I really have to do is find the fcntl.h header. Okay? I have the specs turned off. And so let's look. Yeah, I like result. I think I'm going to be able to get rid of a lot of errors with that. I may be able to get back into the game. Wait, now I was going to go up to boot system, take a look. Boot systems, develop headers. What the fuck are we looking for? Something in sys, right? So it could be in a number directory. It's probably in POSIX, though. Not there. Ah, it's just there. So if I just change line 25 PCIX underscore access to just that, I may be able to continue with this compilation. Where is it? Where'd it go? Oh, it closed on me when I made clean. Well, that's okay. I can go back. Not gonna die. Right there. Right there. And right there. And right there. It's called a PCIX prices. Private. What are we looking for? Here. Here. Oh, there we go. Get out of here, kid. You bother me. Okay, let's try it again. Well, what do you know? All those errors just went away. Now what? Oh, here's a header called sysindian. Let's see what we can do about that. Oh, there it is. We'll just have to change that thing now. Let's see, where's the comment interface? Where we got that? Yeah, okay. Let's do that, and where's our end in? Where we go? And there we are. There we are. There we are. So that is my new. Didn't I change that already? What the hell else did I change? I'm gonna keep track of what I changed here. I think it was this stupid header. Yeah, this thing. With strict prototypes. What else are we missing here? With error equals implicit decker. What the hell happened there? Did this thing come back? Why the hell did it come back?
Some warnings are being treated as errors. Let's try this once again. And I only do Confederate patches until we have a reasonable maker extract. Until it's a reasonable journey to get to our applications, which needs to be fixed by the project, I am not doing anything but Confederate patches. I'm doing that for my own health and sanity. Blah 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 blah. Oh, let's just do, can we? Patching failed. Well, we don't need near stinking patches. Thank you. I think this is such a tremendously large task that it is worth no one's time to do, because we are not coordinating between builders and crew. It would be just as hard to meet it with the developer and end user in mind. It probably will still fail. Fucking A, man. Alright, so my little hack didn't do jack shit. So, in general, this just isn't worth my time. So I could struggle with this for a whole day at my skill level. And then I'll have a chance to do just forget it. I always do this anyway. Try it again. Alrighty, let's go over here. Now it could be, oh, the answer's simple. We just haven't implemented that yet. So I could do stuff to help people build things. But Yeah, you know what? Forget this. Okay, I'm gonna go. Okay, so I can't build LibraryX11 myself, at least without a lot of work that I'm now feeling I just don't want to do. Even though I've done all this work, I just kind of just don't want to do this because there's gonna be another one, and another one, and another one, and sometimes I'll get sick of seeing an error and I'll do some research and I may or may not come up with an answer. Like the answer I came up with for glue, not glut, Mesa glue, GLU, was like on the second page of Google search results in some IRC conversation buried on the 15th page, where a guy had a musing that happened to be correct. Didn't they change, some switch to standard error back at, So this is what I'm looking at. The little experience I have, I think I've learned that for the most part, if something doesn't compile because of an undefined reference, there's some header somewhere that has the code that's going to solve that in the system. And if it's not there, we just haven't made it yet. At least officially. And if we haven't made it yet officially, there's a chance or a possibility that someone's gone ahead or there's a work in progress on making that thing that will fill in the gaps, such as the shared memory header, shm.h, which someone started working on about 4 months ago to revive it. It was sitting idle for a while, but we still haven't really put it in. This thing, Nightly is like 3 months old, quarter of a year old, 2.5% of a century. No, 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 0.025% of a century. This isn't fun. So then I could grep for those terms. In fact, I did on camera. I grep for those terms, didn't find. Okay, now I can go look for that type of error, and I'll probably find that. I have to search for haiku. That type of error. Eventually, that might lead me to some ticket. Let's just do that. Okay, what was the error? Of course, I'm in this environment. Since I have my package source stuff pathed, I have no browser, and I have no ability to copy and paste between the two. So that makes it real sweet. All this just to see whether I'll have a different result than what I'm going to show you. In fact, I'm going to do this. Okay, so I obtained from Haiku a copy of their library X11. The first port of library X11 over to BEOS. It's installable, and it was maintained and switched up to land library X11 in the common directory, which now no longer exists and is ineffective, under the name of consolidation, whatever that's supposed to mean, or tidiness, or whatever. It's called XBEOS. See, it's all path. And we can't find the library bselect.so. Okay, well, just put it. All you got to do, James, if you want to use that, is just put it in your config, in your library, your non-packaged, in your library directory. Just right there. It's all you got to do. It's all you have to do to get it to work. I mean, what's the big problem here? Don't you read the mailing list? I mean, come on. Well, I got a lot of libraries, but and I probably scrolled by it already. Live libbb select. LabaB select. There's my LabaB select right there in the boot home package. Ah, it's a symbolic link. Well, I've followed the instructions. That's why XPOS comes up. It's because it's also in boot home config non-package directory. I was having this problem before. I would try to run stuff and it'd say, "Oh, sorry, you can't find the library." Which of course is annoying, right? Because I spent all this time to package all these packages and none of them run. You kind of want to know it's going to run, right? That's a good thing. Now, in some cases, they do. Like, it's able to find the ncurses stuff. It's just not able to find that particular library. Why is that? I went so far as to copy the library in the vendor. Oh god, it's counting now. Hey yeah. Okay, up here. Let's try a read elf. -A because they're picky. Whoever made the read elf things, picky people, not anybody else. So there's all sorts of stuff that and in fact, so much I have to redirect the output. To a text file. And what are we looking for here? I was looking for a shared library, but it just doesn't know where to look because there's actually no path in there. And since pathing no longer works, this is my guess. This is my latest guess. So I'm going to keep guessing. I'll probably find something else out and guess again, and eventually I might get the answer. But right now my guess is that pathing has no effect. It doesn't really have any effect on being able to run any of the apps you compile. Which is kind of fundamental to being able to have usable Unix apps. But since this binary doesn't have an embedded path in it, it doesn't find it even if it's in the same directory. So it's broken. The only way X11 will run from this build in any BEOS or Haiku system is pre-package management. That's the conclusion I have. I could be wrong, but that's what I think it is. Because, let's see, I know I have library ncurses, right? So let's just try Moonbuggy. Woo! Jonkin Furkin Furkin. Bump. And my head written wrong. Okay, so it's able to read live ncurses. And why is that? Why would it be able to read? Let's just look at the readout for the moon buggy. Okay, let's do that. I'm probably gonna find out that I'm wrong and that this moon buggy binary has some weird path embedded in it, but I might not be. So even if it looks like it reinforces my theory, it doesn't mean it's true. Or maybe it doesn't want any libraries, and that's why it runs. There's the library RPath. Boot home package library. There you go. But still, only because I have a symbolic link between boot home package library and boot home and non-packaged, does it even work? Because that doesn't even take effect, I don't believe. But it actually looks for live network, live incurses, and live root. Right in the package path that is embedded in that binary. Yeah, the question is, how do I get the remote path embedded in that older version of X? The answer is, I don't think I'm going to be able to. But without that, too bad. As far as I believe. Now, tomorrow am I going to go through and dig through dice patches? There's a lot of them for QT. Try to build the thing. Of course, mine's GCC4, so I'm pretty sure he's been using GCC2, so it may not match up. I know it doesn't work now, because some of the patches don't apply, they're misaligned. And I still don't know how I'm going to run QT. Because I still don't even know if I have an X11 or need an X11 or what the hell's going on. So yeah, I've already made this complaint before. I guess I'll just keep complaining. Do I really want to go back and redo all these things so other people could enjoy their 1993 version of Unix? Or do I just say this is a lost cause? Unless I learn how to use Haiku Porter really quick, and that doesn't really let you build much because you have to use almost all the time no dependencies, because it wants to build for many of the packages, it wants to build GCC something or other, of which it won't download the source for some reason. So you have to do no dependencies. You got to build everything one at a time. And so there's really no automation. There's not much automation to it. It's got the download automation, but it doesn't have, I can't start a compile process on a whole category and come back the next day and say, oh, I got 500 of these. But even if I did, would I even know how to build library X? Even if I built library X11 in Haiku Porter, which still has some semblance of proper pathing remaining in it, if you manage to get your library into the read-only section of the OS, am I going to know how to use it anyway? I don't know. Now I do have another idea. Actually, I've built everything but the X binary.
it's still not going to work. If I were to, well, let's see, if I were to call this XBOS just X, okay, that was trying it. So what Haikus turned out for me, the value that it's had actually. I'm going to duplicate this. Rename it to X. If this doesn't work, and I don't think it's going to, what X has been is like my personal Minix for compiling apps, basically. I mean, Minix was like an educational kind of training operating system. It really didn't supposedly do what people wanted it to do, right? So I have X in it. God damn. Swear to God. Fucking A, man. So xinit did call up X, but it didn't. It can't find the library bselect. Isn't that fucking awesome? There's also another copy of it actually in this. I don't know how whoever packaged this got it to write to the system. It's actually, there's a copy of that in system everywhere. It just doesn't work. Start X. Now maybe if I get my hands on the source for that and compiled it, maybe I might be able to get some things to run. But, you know, whatever. It's like a real, it's too tight of a tightrope to have to go through all this. Well, you can't really compile your X, but you can get this old version over here, and you have to get this one from this download and place this file in this exact directory over here, because it's not impossible. And it's just unfortunate. A lot of time has been put into this. A lot of money's been put into this. A lot of developer effort's been put into this. And it's just like the Las Vegas of operating systems. You go there and you go, oh yeah, I'm going to go to the gambling table. I'm going to win a bunch of money. No one ever wins in Vegas. It's like that. It's like no one ever compiles apps in Haiku that you want to use. At least not now. And it sucks. And it's trying to use the host name. It's just kind of weird. And then Apache has this, it won't even start. Try Xbomb. Can't open the display because, you know, the X server isn't running. So, it's getting to the point, I mean, to decide, you know, what am I going to do about this. I could come up with some giant report of all the things that I tried to compile, what worked, what didn't work, and what stopped me. You know, I've got probably 1,000 pages of that stuff. Some statistics, examples of errors, you know, that come up. But, and it's probably, you know, it may even be a lot to ask. Well, I don't know if it may not be that much. In some cases, I don't know why we did. So we have this standard, probably because of the POSIX standards, say that, you know, some definitions go in different places than what the places that a lot of these apps are looking for these things at. I may come back on here. I'm going downhill. And I mean, in a few days, I might come back and say, woohoo, I figured something out. I do that once in a while, and I may actually break through this. I may not. I may learn how to use Git. I may not, but I couldn't figure out how to use Git.
kind of felt like uploading all my changes. Right, it feels isolated right now. I have actually, one point I did have an upload going that I stopped because it was quite large. So I probably should just upload the damn thing, get into Linux. The problem is that now I could, if I wanted to, actually, and I may just do that. I have to find the blog page. There's actually a way to mount these little, using some QEMU thing. You could mount the haiku image, but you still can't write to it. Isn't that great? Because the B file system only has read-only support in Linux. But I'd be able to get my little zip and all my changes out and then be able to feel like I could actually do something with the stuff instead of only having FTP as an option. Maybe Dropbox or something. I can handle that. Git. It's probably some simple command. I just don't know what the fuck it is. I don't want to have to research and learn. I've done it's way too much of that recently. I'm done.